Hi, everybody. Angela Bixby, founder of Energy Intuit here, coming to you on Monday, January 12th, 2026. I wanted to talk for just a couple of minutes about who I am and why I'm here and how you may have found your way to this channel. If you found your way here, please offer a subscribe. I deeply appreciate it. Working on building this channel out. And so all of your support helps through subscribes, through liking, through engaging with the video, through, writing me questions or comments or sharing this guidance with anyone that you feel may benefit. Thank you, thank you, thank you in advance. So I'm Angela Bixby. I've been a psychic medium for 15 years this month. 15 years ago in January of 2011 was the first time that I hung my business license after training in psychic school in 2010. So I'm a psychic medium. Yes, I do readings, and I have expanded. I've been teaching since 2012, the Conscious Psychic Program. My mission here on this planet is to help as many people connect and learn to use and grow their intuition as possible. That is why I'm here on the planet at this time. This is a second career for me. I used to be in healthcare sales and marketing. I'm a woman in her 50s. So one of the questions that I've had is as a conscious channel, because yes, I trance channel as well as lots of other things, teaching and reading for people. And I'm also very neurodiverse. So one of the questions I've had is about my eye movements and about how I show up on camera, and that a lot of times it looks like I'm reading. I just want to let you guys know, if you haven't had a reading with me, that when you do, you'll see my eyes scanning across the midline a lot. It's part of my skills that emerged. It's part of how my brain works when I'm reading, and when I'm reading psychically, I'm seeing holograms that are coming through in the air in response to my clients' questions. And that's how it is when I'm trance channeling on a trance channeling event. I actually have a number of different guides that are sort of like here and ready to come through and pour through. So when I channel, fast forward to today, when I channel these bi-monthly energy updates for you guys, I channel the information ahead of time and I write it all down. And yes, I am reading it to share with you when I'm doing this recording, to share with you the channeled messages. And what's happening for me, and this happens for me when I walk through the world, and I'm awkward socially for this reason, is yes, I calm down and quiet down my connection to spirit often in different social interactions. And yet there's always still a certain amount that's open and flowing through from a lot of different dimensions and levels at any given time when I'm alive and awake, when I'm awake and alive and engaged with someone. So I wanted to explain some of that social awkwardness and the eye movements. And I had some questions from a couple of people about, what are you doing? Are you reading? Yes, I'm reading channeled information that was brought to me not too far before I recorded this. So I wanted to give you all that explanation. Again, back to today. So I started doing these energy updates back in September. Spirit asked me to do them twice a month to offer information, a bit of a roadmap for the upcoming couple of weeks for everyone that's here and wants to pay attention to the higher dimensional energies for sensitives who are developing. We're all psychic. We are all psychic in my knowing. I've always believed that. We all have a pineal gland, a pituitary gland, and a physical body. We're all spirits in a human body for this go around. And so we are spirit before we are human. And we're all psychic. So, so many people are waking up to their skills now. These energy updates are meant to support evolving humans, to give you a little bit of a temperature check for what's coming for the next couple of weeks. All right. So we'll jump into it now. So this 2026 mid-January energy update, as I channeled this from my guidance teams and collectives. There are a lot of different sources of information that come in when I do these. I channel a number of different sources of collectives and councils, as well as different types of beings, ascended masters, archangels. I channel a lot of different types of beings because I'm a teacher and I help people learn how to do this. So, what they said in their very nondescript way, in terms of identifying themselves today, was that we are embarking now upon a year of new exploration. Those that understand what is happening, that we are forging a new world as a sculptor liberates art from stone, loved that reference to Michelangelo, I believe it was. And action is the key phrase, as in taking action or action for this year. Action steps, taking action, building knowledge and competence across a few disciplines is key for all humans this year. Now, what happened when I was channeling this is I was saying to Spirit, you're talking about the year. We're trying to do this second half of January update, right, with our linear calendar month. And they said, yeah, yeah, yeah. But they wanted to sort of pour forth with that tone for 2026 first to let you guys know before we jump into these more specifics. Now, back to the mid-January, as this energy update is meant to support humans who are evolving on a planet in this transformational time period. There are two qualities that Spirit wanted to highlight today. And each month, each energy update, Spirit does this differently. Sometimes they bring in three topics and three ways to deal with them. They do this differently each time. You guys are noticing that if you're consuming these month over month. And so what they brought in today was really just two qualities, and I'll go ahead and get into it. So two qualities that Spirit wants to highlight, and these are where they're recommending that we each, as humans, ground in and focus for the second half of January. A is knowledge. This is a time period that supports a layering on of skills and the building of knowledge. The pace is not important, Spirit said. It is the starting, the taking action, and the consistency that are best seated now in the second half of January. So, whatever project you've had going on, this is a little bit of Angela interjection to help assimilate this channel message for you. If you've been wanting to take action on something, start to take action. Just map it out, right? Take a little bit of action and then do it consistently, whether that's monthly, weekly, every day. It doesn't matter the pace of the consistency, but the consistency is important for it to be there. And so work with your own pace, work with your own skills, and approach it consistently and methodically, Spirit is saying. Learn new things, learn new skills, focus your efforts on understanding something from a new lens. You want to be open and to open your minds to new knowledge. For open minds, as Spirit said, are growing in their importance and use in this evolving world. By acquiring knowledge, you're renewing your belief in your brain and your capacities to open up to new ways of being and doing. Beautiful. So A was knowledge. B, here we go. Agromancy. Okay. I got to look up what this word means. Agromancy is a reference to divining for agricultural purposes. So, divining from the energies of the fields, literally, that you're going to grow on, the weather, the seasons, things like that. Spirit extrapolated it out for us. All right, I'll jump in. Agromancy, divination related to planting and harvesting farming activities. And Spirit is using this here for us to expand the use of the term agromancy. They want us to encompass and to extrapolate out and to encompass divining from not only the agricultural field and crops, but to extrapolate that out to all of our fields of existence and reality. That's a lot. I'm going to let that land for a second. This means understanding your psychic skills and your divination capacity to understand what dimensions and fields that you're divining from, right? So Spirit's really calling us to take things to a higher, more multidimensional level through this agromancy call. Now, I'm going to interject a little bit from myself. This is an Angela interjection with Spirit. Spirit is still weighing in too as I say this to you guys. We're comprised of multiple fields, okay? It's one way to consider how us humans are built. The chakra system, our subtle energy body from the Hindu pantheon is a great one to turn towards, right? So the chakra system explains that we have seven main energy centers, and they're filters or spinning wheels that exist between our physical human body, where our spirit lives, and the external world, right? So we can look through the lens of the yogic pantheon or the Hindu pantheon, the Vedic pantheon, at the chakra system, any of the chakra systems. There are many chakra systems all across Asia that we've learned about here in the West. So you can look at it that way in terms of considering our different bodies or fields. And the way that I like to sort of bring it down to perhaps a more understandable way to consider it is, to say it another way, would be that we all have a physical body, a physical field. We all have an emotional body or an emotional field. We all have a mental body or a mental field where our thoughts happen. And we have numerous spiritual bodies. So we're comprised of a number of different bodies, whether you want to look at them as chakras or look at them as bodies. And these bodies and these fields is another way to say it, because they're all energetic fields that carry their own frequency and resonance and vibration. So as while these, excuse me, these fields and these bodies don't, there's not a linear tie to dimensions because dimensions are frequency oriented. And so you can be in a particular frequency and maybe be in a couple of different fields at once. And so it isn't so linear that each of these fields or bodies ties to dimensions, but there is still some crossover here. And so I'm really just trying to explain a little bit here for those listening and watching to understand this call to agromancy and divining from our fields. So Spirit's calling us to divine from not just our fields, but higher dimensional fields. Okay. Let's see, let me go back to the notes here. This whole thread of this number two or this letter B quality, the second half of January's energy that Spirit wants us focused with is our capacity to divine from the fields of existence, pre-existence, etc., to build and layer our knowledge, to understand and to begin to understand how we engage with layers of reality. Is it 97%, 99% of the universe is dark matter? I forget where the percentages lie, 96%, 93%. It's a high percentage. A high percentage of our universe is said to be dark matter. And I would say most of it is probably plasma and things that are created from plasma, right? I see plasma runs as an agent or a substance that this is what Spirit said in terms of how to explain it to you. Plasma runs as an agent or a substance that births and supports dimensions and offers the creation substrate for etheric structures to be built. Thank you, Spirit. Moving now, I'm going to move into a more general channeling from this collective for us all to carry us through the next few weeks. Okay, so I brought through a lot with the A and the B. So, two qualities that Spirit wants us focused on. I'll do a quick recap. Knowledge, the acquisition of knowledge, opening your mind, opening up to new skills, new knowledge, layer in those new skills. B, agromancy, divining related to fields, higher dimensional fields, specifically sixth and seventh dimension, because this is where it's time for us to create. And then there's a dragon collective that's been working with me and came to me, has come to me a few months ago. And I'll actually soon be publishing a class on connecting with the dragons. But for now, this last part of the channeling was a general channeling from this dragon collective for us all to carry us through the next few weeks. So I'm just going to go right into reading it now. This is an emissary from a dragon collective that has been working through me and coming to me lately. We are on the verge of so many breakthroughs, as well as the continued breakdown of the shadows of your system's existence. So many are working at the pain points on the front lines or battlegrounds, as we may reflect from what we are seeing. The pursuits in the deeper and higher realms and incorporating us, the Dragon Collective gave me their name there, born of the fifth dimension and fractaling out across all dimensions is how they identify themselves. As you navigate the unseen fields, realms, and places where patterns of existence lie, this is your call now. We are calling in as many souls as possible to be working in and on the unseen realms and dimensions to carry this forward. We call on you to lay the groundwork to feed the foundations of clearer and higher dimensions now. Where most humans are doing battle at surface levels, we implore you, sensitives, you connected ones, as you say, to spend at least 5 minutes per day fueling the creation in the unseen realms. Focus in these higher realms, specifically the sixth and seventh dimensions now, will yield massive growth for the planet and will restore new levels of belonging for the light workers who have been led to the front lines. Yes, their light is needed on the front lines, and more so, their light is needed in the higher realms now. Finally, the Dragon Collective wanted me to say this on their behalf because they anticipated questions or comments, or perhaps some of the thoughts of others hearing a channeling from them. Dragons give life, we do not eradicate it. We clear fields and never with the intention of obliterating life. We are here to help, to assist, and to mobilize humans and support their growing consciousness. We are happy to sponsor your interdimensional and intradimensional travel and fieldwork. This has been the Dragon Collective. All right. So I leave you with that general channeling that came in at the tail end of the two qualities that we're dealing with here for the second half of January. I hope that everyone is doing well. I know the world is wonky and growing wonkier by the day, by the minute. I'm sending you all love and higher dimensional support as you navigate this time on planet Earth. Thank you so much for being here. Take care. See you in the next energy update.